Hello, my wonderful spirit guides. Today I'm reacting to Rebecca Black, Let Her Burn. I'm very much looking forward to this. I actually recently watched her on the H3H3 podcast, and she talked about the whole her Friday video and about how she is now, what she's doing now, and I was really intrigued by what this album was going to sound like, because at the time it wasn't out yet, but it was coming out, and I was like, ooh, will people want me to react to that? I don't know. And then Kat over on Patron actually requested it, so I was like, oh, okay, I guess people really do want to see this. So here I am doing it, and it was really helpful that it was a Patron request, because it means, you know, it just solidifies that I'm doing it. I do have other requests I'm meant to be doing, but because this is a popular one at the moment, I thought it would just be best to do it now rather than wait, you know, a couple months down the line or a month or whatever. So yeah, but I'm very much looking forward to it. If you would like to come with Patreon, please do. Links for that will be in the description below. Follow me on Instagram, I shall follow you back. I also have a PayPal if you want to send me a tip. I also have a Discord server so you can talk to like-minded people about music. And then of course, comment, like, subscribe if you like the video, of course. But yeah, let's get on into it. I am just so excited. I feel like I've heard one of the songs in my own time. I didn't listen to it all the way through, because I think I listened to half the song and then was like, oh, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't, just in case I do react to it. You know, you just never know. I mean, I imagine we're all feeling this way, but to think of Rebecca Black and everything she went through all those years ago, to now being doing songs with Dorian Electra and so on, the hyperpop sort of feel, that's amazing. I don't know, it's just really nice that she didn't let it destroy her. Yeah, I just love that. It's really cool. But anyway, I have no idea what these songs are going to sound like, but I'm very much looking forward to it. So yeah, let's actually get on into it. First song is called Erase You.
I can't think about any of the good things about you now.
Ooh, she sounds lovely.
So it's all for me.
Oh, it's coming more clear. Her vocal.
Whole new side of me. I'll get away, down with the others. All my mistakes, I keep on covered.
Really pretty.
I'll let you play the
classical there. Wow. Oh my gosh. She's got such an open tone, but sweet too. Oh, that's nice. Got it. I'll let you play the villain, so I can save a night. Haha, I love it. And fun. Wow, I'm shocked and impressed. I mean, I had a feeling it would have a hyperpop sound, but I just didn't know. Wow, that was so cool. That was the first song, Erase You. I feel like that was quite a powerful first song too. It was vulnerable lyrically, and then her vocals were very and some of it, she still had the sweetness of the, but then her vocals were very open too, in a very classical way. So, it was really cool. I don't know, just different, and a far cry from what they did to her vocals on Friday, right? How they just made it all so flat. And obviously she was a young girl there as well, so even, you know, even if it wasn't auto-tuned, she would have sounded different. But here you could just hear how she should have sounded, and how she does sound, you know, and what she's developed into. And I think it's so powerful, and I found that a very emotional kind of song too. I'm gonna look into the lyrics a bit. oh my god, the lyrics are really quite good as well. Like the song basically sounds like she used to love someone, and you know, she had to paint them into a villain and make them like something demonic, something evil, just so that she didn't love them anymore, so she could hate them instead of love them, you know, feel like anger towards them instead of love. And that's like one of the biggest steps when you break up with someone. When your heart gets broken, there's a lot of anger there, and all the thoughts of, oh, I want to be with them again, like turn to, I hate them, they're the worst person ever. But she's written it in such a beautiful way, and like talking about like, don't know where I got all this apathy, whole new side of me, lock it away down with the others. I'll keep my safe deep underwater, all my mistakes I keep them covered, I can't erase you. So in that bit, it kind of like pulls back from that a little bit, you know, all this pain and all the love or whatever is being locked down but never actually erased. It's still there, but it's buried deep. And she has this kind of apathetic side now, just to cope, just to survive the heartbreak she's feeling. Hence why she's saying, I'll let you play the villain so I can sleep at night. Kind of let it be that you are the villain, you are the bad guy, just so I don't feel the pain of longing for you and so on. I need to kill all these feelings so I can move on with my life. And she just says it clear as day there, like I need to really just push them all down and whatever, just so I can move on. And so it's interesting how, you know, and then in the second pre-chorus she says, I can't erase you, and then in brackets, villain, got it. It's almost like she's reminding herself, like, villain, and like, she says, I can't erase you, and then she's like, no, villain, got it, okay, you're the villain. Like, you know, she might crack sometimes and feel that pain, but then she'll just like suffocate it once again. Yeah, makes sense. Oh, and actually she's actually gay, isn't she? So all these songs will be about a girl. So whatever relationship or person she's talking about a woman. So yeah. Sorry, I just remembered that and I was like, I completely forgot for a minute there, but yeah, cool. All right, yeah, let's move on. I love the way that sounded. Like I said, like all the sound stuff is so cool, how it was so ethereal, but then also like chaotic and fun too. It had like a lot of dimensions to it, which was really nice. I just really liked it as a start song. It was like a very good introduction. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of sad bops on here, which I'm excited about because I love a sad bop. Okay, so the next song is called Destroy Me, and I find that interesting. Like the first song's called Erase You, and then the second one is Destroy Me. Like there's something to that, like erase you, like get rid of you, like I don't want to think about you, but then destroy me, it may be a self-destructive kind of feeling that comes with heartbreak. I don't know yet, but let's go for it. Oh, I like that. Oh, I love her tone. She sounds like Poppy. Ooh. Go ahead, destroy me. Every time you see me, do you hear violin? Go ahead, destroy me. Feeling pretty cute until I ran into you. Chew me up and spit me out like gum on your shoe. Go ahead, destroy me. Go ahead, destroy me. Yeah, that is very Poppy. Destroy me. Drum and bass of metal. Don't wanna be a loser. I wonder if I dye my hair. This is so good. This is different. And her soft voice in the mix is... Oh, and here we go. Go ahead, destroy me. When it comes back in, it's going to be so tough. Every time you see me, do you hear violins? Cut a little deeper, there's no reaching the end. Ah, the tension. Chew me up and spit me out like gum on your shoe. If you go ahead, destroy me. Go ahead, destroy me. That is cool. Wow. This is so good. I'm so like, I'm shook. Oh, that is lush. Oh, it's like actually stunning. Oh my gosh, this is so cool and it makes me so happy too. oh, it's just so nice. I know, like, we heard Rebecca Black with, like, Dorian Electra, so obviously did dip her toe into, like, the hyperpop genre, but I hadn't heard anything else from her. So I'm just really glad she's going down that route, though, of, like, the hyperpop kind of experimental, exciting kind of, like, pop sound that, like, we all love so much. It's just so cool that we've got another artist here now, and it's Rebecca Black. Like, that's just amazing. It's just like you could never imagine that, and here we are, and she's doing it flawlessly. Oh, it just makes me so happy. And also, that's something I want to say, like, her label is her own label. She's not under anyone else's label. I think she's independent, which I think is so cool as well. So, like, the amount of work and everything that went into this is amazing, and, like, all the promotion, all of it, you know what I mean? Like, it's very tough to be independent, but I think for her, like, that is the best thing she could be. Independent is definitely the best. I'm so happy for her. Like, she is doing so well, and it's produced by Stint. I've never heard of Stint before, but wow, they are doing so good. Like, the actual sound is so amazing, and you can definitely see who he's been inspired by, for sure. But oh my god, it just makes me so happy. Yeah, so, like, this song to me, without looking too deep, is very much like, you know, when you look at me, you hear violins, like, you just think I'm, like, this sad, like, this, you pity me, you think I'm, like, worthless, you think I'm this small, so go ahead, destroy me, do it then. You know, it's almost like taking back power from people who might look at her and think that she is less than, and she's just been like, well, do it then. Okay, do it. Destroy me. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of like that. I love songs like that are powerful and take all the hate and turn it around, sort of thing. Because obviously she, like, the funny thing is she can't be destroyed. Like, she went through so much, you know, in the past, and she still hasn't been destroyed. I don't think we can destroy her. Oh, well, obviously we don't want to, the people who are watching this video, and myself, but I mean, like, no one can destroy her now, and it's like, go ahead, try it, because it's just not going to work. But obviously she still feels like the pain too, though, like, don't want to be a loser. I wonder if I dye my hair, will they think that I'm cooler? Living in a nightmare. All your words cut me up like glass, shutting you off. No more looking back. I don't see you because I drive too fast. Go ahead, destroy me. It's like very much like she is saying all her insecurities and, like, all the things that do hurt her, but she then finishes it off by saying, go ahead, destroy me. Just, however, she, like, what I'm saying is she hasn't been destroyed, and I don't think she ever will be now after everything she's gone through. I actually think she's probably one of the toughest people in the industry at this point. So I just think that's really cool. And yeah, but obviously it does have the sad side of it, which is you don't want anyone to hurt you in those ways, and you don't want to have to go through it, of course, but yeah, it's still weirdly, like, a sad and positive song. So yeah, I just loved it. And that rock sound, so good. And it's so weird because I said she sounds like Poppy before it even came in with the guitar. I just thought her voice had the same, like, sweetness that Poppy has. And it just, the tonally sounded so similar. And then the rock sound came in and I went, definitely an inspiration, I imagine. But it's still very her, you know, because it was crazy with, like, the drum and bass sound with it. That was actually, like, giving me Shy Girl with her, like, new and Caroline Polachek. A lot of the drum and bass sort of garage drums are coming back at the moment. But then she added the bit of, like, rock to it too. So I was like, that's just changing it up a little bit extra, which I thought was cool. All right, next song is called Misery Loves Company.
Doing her favors of my tongue.
Bassy synth it's like organs, like your insides, like organs all moving around in the body. I know it sounds awful, but I like it.
Ocean, I can't control, ready to feel, just wanna feel you on my body when it's late in the morning.
Oh, that's hot. And she sounds good.
I just can't stand another night on my own. I'd rather be dead.
That's different. It's almost like she's singing off key. Oh, and it just
swim. No lights in the dark, but feel the trees looking at me. Feel your hands up on my body.
She sounds
I
hot.
just can't stand another night on my own.
This is amazing. This vocal is giving me tattoo. Colours are gorgeous. Deep, deep colours. Actually very much like this. With reds, a bit of blue. The colours, so rich. Fuck. I needed this today, guys. I really needed it. I've been literally like, I wasn't going to say it at all, but I feel like I have to now because I feel different. But like, I've been so depressed this last couple of weeks and I don't know why. It's just like, well, the week before it's because of my hormones and stuff before I was PMSing. But then like at this point I should be feeling a lot better, but I haven't been, and I just feel really low. And like I even get like rush, like feelings where it rushes downward, like in my chest, like a sigh, like your heart is sighing. I've been just feeling like there's like real like, oh, like nothing's giving me joy, I don't feel happy, stuff like that. And before starting the video I was feeling like it, but I was like, I'll try the video because normally when I do listen I get shocked into feeling happy, like the music shocks me and I feel better. But you don't believe it at first. You don't believe that will happen, and then you start doing it, and then it happens, and it's like, oh my god, I wish I would believe it when I say to myself, like, honestly, if you do a video, you'll feel happier. But anyway, I did do that today. I didn't believe it, but I still gave myself the chance, and I'm so happy I did because this music is really just like doing it for me. Really just making me feel good. And of course the song had like a darkness to it, but the colours weren't like you know, it wasn't like gothic-y dark, like black and stuff like that. I can't explain it, but it was like it felt skin deep. You know how I said about the bass felt like organs like moving around. I know it sounds so gross and I don't even like body horror stuff. I don't like gore, but like it wasn't gory in my mind. It's just like it's almost like, you know, if you can imagine your heart beating in your chest, there was something rich to it. There was like something deep about it. And it was very much like, yeah, like I said, these colours, which is so interesting. And then like little bits of like indigo blue and definitely black. And then like the black's like here. And then as you can imagine, the colours are very more in the middle, kind of pulsating. Oh my God, it was just stunning. And it was just such a cool, sexy kind of vibe too. Like, what the heck? Oh, okay. I love it though. Like, my misery, it loves your company, crave the toxicity under my skin. She even says under my skin. I can promise you, I didn't notice she said under my skin at all because I wasn't really focused on the lyrics. I was like kind of like skimming like this, but she was like singing quite fast. So I didn't follow it all and I was like listening to the music. That's interesting because I literally said it felt skin deep. It felt like it was under. That's weird, actually. It like freaks me out when those things happen. But anyway, I love that. She says, doing no favours, so many words on the tip of my tongue. I got a graveyard of all the failed loves that I've paid in blood. And she talks about blood too, which is interesting. Oh, that's so cool. Then she says, all of these tears I've cried in ocean. I can't control the way I'm coping. Not ready to feel. Just want to feel you on my body when it's late and I'm lonely and I'm lonely. Again, it's that whole like going back to the first song, feeling like when you actually do go for a breakup or heartbreak, you do kind of become numb, like apathetic and stuff, just so that you don't, you know, feel the pain so much. But she's saying here, like, I've cried so much and now I can't cry anymore. All I want to feel is you on my body. I want that physical touch, that physical intimacy. No emotions involved. I just want to feel something different. I don't want to feel numb, but I want to feel, and I don't want to feel in love, but I want to feel something. And like, I guess that is kind of physical pleasure, right? And something that is kind of relatable to a lot of people. And she doesn't want to be lonely too. That's the other thing. Like when you break up with someone, you do feel lonely. You just do. Well, imagine going from being with someone like nearly every day or whatever, to then being completely on your own and trying to figure out life suddenly. Because no matter what, the reason our hearts break so much isn't just because you love the person, because of their personality, you enjoyed it. Every single person is slightly codependent when you're in a relationship. It just happens. It would be weird if you weren't. You're right, because like, that's what relationships are about, like supporting each other, helping each other, as well as obviously other things like love and physical intimacy and affection and quality time and stuff. But really a lot of it is like helping each other out. That's a very big sign of showing love, and some people call that codependency. But I guess with codependency, it just depends on how far you take it, whether you like, there are things that you feel like you can't do anymore because you're in that relationship, they did that thing for you all the time, you know what I mean? That's where it can be dangerous, but whatever. But yeah, you do get lonely after you break up. And yeah, so it makes sense with that. Sorry, I know I go on tangents, but these lyrics are really good. And I love it, just like I'm screaming for it. My misery loves your company. Oh, it's like, how do you turn something that is like depressing, like misery loves company, into something totally sexy? I mean, Rebecca Black, you have done that. And I love it. But anyway, next song is called Crumbs. Ate and left no crumbs. Will I be saying that after we finish the song? I imagine I will. It's been just an absolute hit factory so far. So yeah. Gritty. Oh my god, it's terrifying.
So cherry chaotic, the taste of losing control. And chips down my private hole. You're bad and I deserve it. When will
I love it!
Get off and get hurt. You can make a mess and I'll pick up the crumbs. It's just still my best. In my body, out of my head, in my ribs and under my chest.
Wow, talking about being in the body again. And it has that rich.
In my body, out of my head, in my ribs and under my chest. Check me out slowly. Check me unholy. Drip wax and let it burn. When will I ever learn?
Oh my god, she's bad.
You can make a mess and I'll pick up the crumbs. Do to make me love you less. At your worst, you're still my best. In my body, out of my head, in my ribs and under my chest.
At your worst, you're still my best.
You're better not to. You're better not to. Get off and get hurt. You're better not to. Better not. Better not. Better not.
The tension is insane!
Make a
Album of the year. Album of the year. I've not heard something like this in ages.
ribs and under my chest. You're better not to.
This hair literally just doesn't want to stop being in my mouth. What? Yes. Oh my god! Yeah, she went in. She went in, and so did, I think, is it Stint again who did it? Oh, it's actually produced by JJ House and Matthias Mora. Well, they went in. They went in, and they went in further. They were in the catacombs at this point, and then the catacomb door shut, and they couldn't even get out. They just had to stand there and make freaking awesome music. Music for the gods. Oh my god, that was so good. She ate and left. No. You said it right. You said it. That's crazy. Okay, well, I know what that song was about. It was basically about being like, you know, wanting someone that is bad for you because you feel like that's all you deserve, and you're not feeling good about yourself. So, of course, let's just think about RuPaul here. If you can't love yourself, then how the hell are you going to love anybody else? And clearly, she's not loving herself, so all she's going to go for is someone who is bad. And when she says, when you're at your worst, you're still my best. Oh, so she's like lower than low. She's worse than the person she's going for. It's how she feels, right? And it's sad. Like, it's actually just so sad and so dark, but so relatable. Something everyone goes through. Well, most people would go through. So, yeah. It's so taking me back to the days of when I was single. Back to the days when I was single. But it was like this. It was like raunchy but dark, painful but exciting. Like, it was literally a mixture of everything, like dark and light. And it, you know, it took me a long time to get over that, actually, because like there was some like not so great moments in it, but also there were some fantastic moments that everyone should go through. It's good for people to be single for a time, and especially if you've come out of a relationship, don't go jumping into one straight away. You need to experience that time for you to understand yourself better, maybe get in a little bit of trouble, maybe do things that aren't so good for you. You need those life lessons. I'm not saying like go out and do something stupid, but I'm just saying like you might naturally end up doing something stupid, and that happens. But I mean, like, you've got to have those life experiences, and then the person that you're with next, you'll know exactly what you want, because you know the pain. You know what pain feels like. You know what stupid mistakes feel like, if that makes sense. If you just jump from girl to girl or guy to guy, like, you're not really learning anything about yourself. You've got to have that time. And sometimes it's like this, dark but sexy, all these different things. It's just, and like, you are going to have low self-esteem, but you're also going to have high self-esteem within the low self-esteem. Honestly, it's like a whole freaking vortex. But wow, okay. That absolutely slapped. I am so happy about this. It's crazy. Okay, but next one is called Doe Eyed. Let's see what this is all about. I wonder if it would be like Doe Eyed, because Doe Eyed is like, you know, like a deer, and you say like Doe Eyed when you're talking about, it's almost like innocent eyes sort of thing, naive eyes. I'm wondering if it'll be a bit more sad or if it's going to pop off. Who knows? Who knows? This is crazy. I love how it started with like a kind of sad sound, and then Destroy Me was like a bit more positive but sad. Misery Loves Company was super sexy, and then Crumbs was going full filth. Awesome. So yeah, I wonder where we are and what the trajectory of things will be like. But yeah, let's do it. Doe-eyed. Oh, it's sweet so far.
Maybe I didn't say what was on my mind the other day. What am I doing?
Oh, what am I?
I can feel it from
Oh my god! Oh my god, it's like she's rapping a little bit.
Can you keep a secret? I'm tongue-tied, but I wanna keep it till sunrise.
She sounds so sweet. The autotune was great. The contrast of the words and the vocal and the music. Ooh. The strings like plucking, like. I think keys as well. This is very Shy Girl. Oh my god, okay. So in a way it did kind of calm down, but it was still like popping. It was definitely still popping. That one's interesting. It's a bit like, you know, she's been like, oh no, you think I'm shy, but actually, you know, I'm gonna be getting down and dirty with you. I'm not what you think I am in some ways. Like, first one, what am I doing? I'm the one being confusing. I get faded, forget the reason I came here for, covered up bruising, the time of you, it soothes it, butter me up, I want your love. It's like, she is from being like, I don't want, you know, any love, I am apathetic. She's now, maybe there's a certain person here where she does like feel comfortable with their love. Like maybe she's been done screwing someone and it's all very, you know, hot and sexy and maybe a little bit aggressive. And then there's another person who's a bit more of a soother, bit more of a comfort to her. I don't know. Or maybe it could be like the same person, but it's like a different, you know, and she says, what am I doing? I'm the one being confusing. It might be the same person that she is getting, you know, doing like the getting intimate with in an aggressive kind of way. But then sometimes she's showing her softer side of like, okay, but now I feel vulnerable and doe-eyed and sweet and submissive and I want to be cuddled. You know what I mean? It's like the change. And she's even saying like, I'm confusing myself. I know. 1 minute I'm like, don't even, you know, don't call me baby basically. And then like next minute I'm like, I am your little baby. You know what I mean? And then chorus, doe-eyed, can you keep a secret? I'm tongue-tied, but I want to F you till the sunrise. And it's like, I'm tongue-tied, like, you know, like, can you keep a secret? I'm tongue-tied, like, I'm scared, like, I'm nervous, but I still want to do this, like, naughty thing that, like, you know what I mean? And then champagne in my body's so nice, you know, like, she's sipping the bubbly and it's all very sweet, but, you know, it's just all like a bit of the showing the different sides of her. You could work me like 9 to 5, come see if I'm really that shy. You know, at the end of the chorus being like, come find out if I'm that shy. I don't know, there's lots of things there, but obviously handcuff me to the bed frame. It's a very BDSM over here. But wow, very cool. There's nothing said about the songs yet, so I'm just getting what I can, but it's definitely saucy once again. I thought it was cool, and it was very Shy Girl, as in Shy Girl's Nymph album for sure, more than anything. So I thought that was cool as well. But anyway, next song is called Sick to My Stomach.
I told you to move on.
Oh, this one is going to be a bit more of a ballad, I
Girl,
guess.
that's what you did.
Oh, this is the one that I heard half of. It's like quite disco-y, isn't it?
Don't want you for myself. I don't want to see you with somebody else. Never thought we'd get back together.
Wow.
Wanted a hater and I don't even know her.
Oh my gosh. The lyrics.
Now I'm sick to my stomach. And fuck, it hurts to know that you're falling.
Very 80s actually. It's like an 80s disco-y sound. Even though disco is 70s, but
And fuck, it sucks to see that you're trying again before I did same this, but with somebody new.
It's very Olivia Rodrigo, the lyrics.
So I didn't have to feel like I was the last to know. Thought we get back together. Don't even know her name.
Ready?
And now I'm sick to my stomach. Falling in love before I did.
Yeah.
And now I'm drunk, I can't stop myself from crying.
This is sad.
I told you to do this. My own delusion made more sense inside my head. I can't sleep 'cause I'm the one who made this bad. Sick to my stomach. And fuck, it hurts to know that you're falling.
This is pretty good.
Before I did, can't stop myself from crying. My head just forgets all of the fighting. And
That's painful. Oh, Oh, it stopped so abrupt. Wow, that's interesting. But oh my god, that's really sad when you actually like, you know, listening to the lyrics. That is, well, it's definitely, even though there was like great music in it, it was a very lyrically charged kind of song. It was one where the vocals were very at the forefront. You know, she wanted you to hear the story of it. She really wanted to get those words across. And it was very much, you know, about an ex moving on before she moves on. She even says in a bridge, like, even though I told you to go and find someone else because I didn't want to be with you, I didn't realise how jealous it was going to make me and how like upset it would make me until you actually went and did it. And it's like going, oh, why did I tell you to do that? Like, I must have been delusional. She even said I made my own bed and now got to lie in it sort of situation. But yeah, obviously it's really like painful to go through that. Yeah, and it's just like that jealousy, even if you don't want to be with them, it's still, we just as humans are like that. I don't know why, and you can feel really bad. You even look at yourself going, why am I being like this? I didn't want to be with them anyway, but now I'm forgetting all the fights and forgetting all the bad stuff, and now I want them now that they're with someone else. We're like weirdly territorial, and that's what we're hearing here, but it's done so well, like, and with all like the lush instrumental. And when she says sick, I don't know whether she's got a bit of a lisp or they've got like a de-esser, like, so like instead of it sounding like it sounds more like, you know, makes it less sharp, less sharp, because it sounds like she's going sick, 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 sick. I can't even do it properly, but you know what I mean. But I kind of like that. I don't know why. It gives it like this like softer texture, like makes it even softer. But it's cool and quirky, makes it quirky too. But yeah, that one was sad, like really sad. With the trajectory of all the songs, it's interesting because it's like, is this like song like the reason why all the songs before exist, right? So like this song came first, really, if you think about it. This feeling came first, and then she went, fuck it, I'm just gonna not care anymore and be self-destructive and whatever. Or has she been self-destructive and then this song happened, you know? But I feel like it's more of like the start, you know what I mean? And it's like that kind of moment that people will be like, that makes people go, oh, it makes sense why she's like in so much pain now, why she's acting out, why she's going for all this pain, you know, going for all this stuff sort of thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, anyway, next one is called What Am I Gonna Do With You?
You checking on me. I try to push you away. Always come back when I say
I love that.
Tell me I'm not a sociopath, but you let it in my life.
Oh my god, that's like theatrical.
The rain falls down, down, down the gutter. What am I gonna do with you? What am I gonna do with you?
This really reminds me of something.
Do with you?
Oh, it definitely has like a 2000s, like early 2000s feel. I don't know why. It's almost spooky too. Yeah, it's like Halloweeny. With the harmonies. It reminds me of something and I don't know what. Maybe it's just a general vibe. Ooh, that was cool. Short but sweet. But I love the spooky kind of feeling to it, definitely. And I loved all the sound of it too. And it did remind me of something that, like, the way the synth hit in the chorus, it had like this, I don't know, I think it just made me feel nostalgic. It must have been like an early 2000s kind of sound going on there, because it really just made me nostalgic. And I don't know why, you know. And actually, I think like earlier I mentioned Tattoo, didn't I? In one of the songs I said, oh, this reminds you of Tattoo. I think it's the way her texture of her voice, you know, very like, ah, la, 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 very sweet. And like the hard kind of music, you know, which is cool. I think this one's interesting because she's saying like, I find it funny you checking on me. I tried to push you away, always comes back, but always come back when I say, honey, you're such a dummy. I'm not a sociopath, but you landed in my lap. You know, it's like being like, I'm not a sociopath, I'm not trying to lead you on, but you landed right here in my lap. What do you think I'm supposed to do? You know, do you think I can't take advantage of this moment? And again, it's in that kind of like apathetic way, you know? And then in the pre-chorus, do you want to fall like the others? Like the rain falls down the gutter. That's so cool, actually, because like, it's like, do you want to fall like the others? Like, do you want to fall in love with me? But then the love will be like falling down into the gutter. Like, it's not really like a falling into like a bed of roses. It's falling in the gutter, like, so it's like falling not somewhere nice. It's not gonna, you're not gonna feel good about it. You taste just like sugar, sweet as a sucker, which is cool because like sweet as a sucker, like you could think of like a sweet that you suck, you know what I mean? But also, what a sucker, what a loser, look at you, I got you, I suckered you, you know? What am I gonna do with you? You know, like, what am I gonna do with you? Now you've fallen in love with me, what am I gonna do with you? You know, it's just being on the other side. Like sometimes, like when you fall in love with someone and it's unrequited, you can take on their personality, you know, and do that same thing that they're doing to you to someone else. You know what I mean? It's just a weird cycle, domino effect, actually. That's basically what I feel like the song is about. Obviously, whenever I describe the songs, it's always just my opinion. I don't actually know what they're about. But yeah. Anyway, next one was called Cry Hard Enough.
Maybe I didn't cry hard enough.
Ooh, that sound.
Things that I could have done.
The vocoder. Ooh.
Maybe I didn't cry hard enough. Then say life's a loaded gun. It's a love. This isn't love. Traces of you in my blood. I wish I did.
Oh my gosh.
Give a fuck about it.
Oh my god, that is beautiful. Oh my god, it's giving me shivers.
Warm me up by your mistakes.
You can really hear the raw beauty of her voice. Oh my god. I love this. Wow. Oh my gosh. I was not expecting it. Wow. I love her voice. I actually prefer it without the drums. Oh, I'm so glad that the drums have come out again. Oh, the harmony. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. So what I want to say about that, like I love the bits where the drum came in. Yeah, very cool. But I actually preferred it without the drums. Like I was about to say as well during the song, I was going to say I wouldn't have minded it if the drums didn't come in at all. Even though I'm not mad at it. But like what makes me happy is that they like pulled out at the end. So it's like you get a little midsection of drums, but then you get like the drumless bits in the front and the back, and the front and the back. I thought that was actually really nice. I thought that was quite beautiful and sad too. Interesting. When actually I scrolled down far enough that I could see an about section bit here, and it says, it sounds like Rebecca is blaming herself for staying with someone who cheated on her and being upset that they cheated again. That's interesting. Yeah, I'll have a little look myself too. Also, I put my sunglasses on because sometimes I get a little bit light sensitive, so yeah. Anyway, maybe I didn't cry hard enough. All the things that I could have done. Thought that by now you'd had enough. Maybe I didn't cry hard enough. Fantasy love is a loaded gun. Whatever this is, it isn't love. It isn't love. And like, yeah, that's crazy. Whatever they're in, it isn't love. Because if you love someone, you don't cheat, right? And I don't know if it's to do with cheating, but at the same time, it kind of does sound like that. It really does. Like, thought you'd had enough. Like, thought you'd had enough of messing around and so on. And like, you know, maybe I didn't cry hard enough. That's why you did it again. Because you want me to beg you to stay, you know, and that truly isn't love. That's just horrible. And I've been cheated on, and I know, not by my partner now, of course, but I've been cheated on in the past and stayed with that person, and it is, it's a very difficult situation to be in. Traces of you in my blood. I wish I didn't give a F about it. Warned me about your mistakes. The cycle was too strong to break you. Warned me about your mistakes. You know, you warned me that you might make these types of mistakes, and you know the cycle was too strong to break. So like their need to cheat was stronger than the love in that relationship. And if you're a cheater like that, then I'd rather be cheated on than be a cheater. You know what I mean? Because like that being who you are, someone that does that to people, is not really very likable. I'd rather be a total loser for being cheated on, and even if I stay with them and you know, and they proceed to cheat on me and I'm dumb enough to stay in a relationship, I'd still rather be that person than the person who cheats. I just would. And even though I will never be that person again, I tell you. But you know what I'm saying. Anyway, that's basically the gist. Sad and beautiful at the same time. But anyway, next song was called Look at You.
People see you on the screen and think you make believe. But I tell
That was a low note, wasn't it?
people see you on the screen and think you make believe. But I tell them
She's got range.
you're better in person. But be honest,
Wow.
I know that you're hurting. But I guess everyone's got someone their shit up. I hate that she made you wanna cry.
Wow.
Took one shot and shut you down. Well, I hope you see that now.
Is that a beat coming?
If I said I wasn't jealous of you too.
Her voice really standing out on these last couple tracks.
Sofas to fold, you drive cars straight
Oh
through
my
the wall. Fitment that
Oh yeah.
that's oh, and I can feel the vultures circling. They're hungry for the blood of a beautiful thing. Body's got somebody that fucks you.
Exactly what I was saying earlier.
I hate that she made
We all go
you
through it.
wanna cry. Hope you see that now.
Wow.
If I said I wasn't jealous.
This is so cute.
I hate that she made you wanna cry. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't jealous of you too.
Oh my god, she sounds so good.
Look at you.
Oh, look at you. It just ends like that. This sounds like she's kind of talking to a friend, and like a friend has been hurt by someone, and like obviously it's kind of sweet because she knows what it feels like too. So she's very much empathizing, and actually she might be the best person to support someone who's going through it because she knows exactly how it feels. And her heart is obviously bleeding for them, so much so that she's written a song about it, probably to cheer the friend up and make them feel better. That's how I look at it anyway. But I'm not sure, but it just sounds a bit like that to me. Just like she really sounds like she's boosting her friend's confidence, and I think that's so sweet. And if you think about it, you'd want her to flip that round and say those things to herself when she's feeling down, and probably her friend does say those things to her as well. You know, they're probably very there for each other. I think that's a very beautiful song to have in an album, that it really does fit the theme, but it's just about someone else, but it just makes so much sense. You know what I mean? Like, it just fits nicely. It just adds an extra person, an extra layer. It just gives you an extra, extra insight into the world of Rebecca Black at this time that she wrote these songs, you know? beautiful. And I love the way it just kind of went exploding into that, like, well, first it had the which was awesome, and then, you know, even more so the guitar sounds like brightening it. Oh, just nice. It like had little layers, like levels. Right, anyway, it's the last song now, sadly, but I can't wait to edit this. But yeah, anyway, last song, and it's called Performer.
Hearts too used to being lonely, stuck in my soul memory.
Oh, she actually has such a good voice.
Bite me, do you really like me? I'm a performer.
Yeah, I get it.
What is it stopping me getting close to you?
Wow.
I'm a performer. Put on my armor, just like my mother and father. All versions of the same person, all of them hurting. Every time I try to be more vulnerable, it's like I hit a wall. Anyone?
I love the way that drum is.
I'm way too long. I'm a performer.
Oh my gosh, so vulnerable, and even more insight into our world.
Of the same person, all of them hurting, working.
Oh, so delicate, and then that acoustic. I love how I pretend to play the guitar. Oh my gosh, that stadium feel. It's like Greenest Alabama. Wow, this is so good for a last song.
Just like my mother and father.
It's mono. Well, nearly.
Same person.
But it's so much more intimate now.
Performance is working.
Ah, vocal close. She's got so many vocal close. She's got quite a lot of vocal closes here, and I love that. Oh my god! Wow. Okay, let me go into the song before I talk about the album itself. But wow. Okay. Anyway, heart's too used to being lonely, stuck in muscle memory. No one really knows me. Is my independence coming back to bite me? Do you really like me, or are we pretending? Oh, okay, I'm a performer. That's what I know how to do. But is it stopping me getting close to you? You know, maybe this is about a new person, and after all this like pain she's gone through, of course she's going to be a little bit scared to fall in love again. But also she's using the kind of like fact that she's a performer, you know, and that being her armor. That's the thing that like she knows how to perform and pretend, but does she know how to be real? You know, and really be real with someone that could be a romantic interest, you know, because she's had to fake this happiness for so long, and fake that she's tough, and fake that she's strong for so long, just so she could be strong, you know, fake it till you make it. But now she's like, oh, this, you know, I do want to get to know this person, but I'm a little bit like, I have to stop the performance. I don't even know if I know how to yet. She says, I'm a performer, got myself cornered, put on my armour, just like my mother and father. And I wonder if she's saying, like, you know, her mother and father had to put on their armour. This just brings me back to the Friday. Now we've got to the end of the album, it's just even more mind-blowing that Rebecca Black is the one who did Friday, which is an absolute bop because, come on, you know, it's nostalgia. But, like, obviously when she was, like, going through all that, her mum and dad would have probably had to put on a lot of armour and be very strong for her, you know what I mean? It might not be related to that, but I of course am relating it to that just by reading it. But also multiple versions of the same person, like all of us, we all have like different versions of ourselves. There's a version of us at home, there's a version of us on a phone, there's a version of us, you know, in the shops, you know, different versions of us. But she's saying all the versions are hurting, like the core of them all are in pain. The performances are just performances, but really they all come down to being just one person and that person's in pain, you know, all of them hurting, one hurting, it's all the same. You know, don't think the performance is working, she even says that. Every time I try to be more vulnerable, it's like I hit a wall, can't go any further. I don't wish this on anyone, it's gone on way too long, patterns unbreakable. I know exactly what she's talking about here, and I know it on a very, 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 very deep level, like when I had a stint with psychosis, unfortunately, but a lot of it was wrapped around trauma and so on like that. But basically, I remember getting, every time I wanted to try and be vulnerable and try and like get to the core of where the pain was and try and shift it, move it, cry, or, you know, something, get it out, a wall would literally, detachment would literally just go up, and it would be as if I couldn't feel. It's dissociation. I struggle with that a lot too, and I was saying it about psychosis because it was during a time of psychosis, but dissociation is something that I struggle with because of PTSD. This whole thing. Whatever you know, things like PTSD, like there's a million symptoms and different, you know, like you probably know already, but if you didn't know, that's, you know, PTSD has many symptoms, dissociation being one of them. But yeah, every time I try to get deep, I dissociate. And I think in some ways she's maybe not saying it as deep as that, but at the same time, it kind of sounds like it. You know, she's shied away from being vulnerable for so long that every time she tries to get vulnerable now, she probably does put up a detachment, a bit of a wall, dehumanizes, detaches, you know, dissociates, whatever it is, because it really was that painful for her. And heartbreak is extremely painful and can be very, very traumatic. Trust me, it really can be. It's not just like, oh, you know, my heart was broken, oh, so is the rest of the world, you know. But actually heartbreak, especially when you love hard, it can really traumatize you. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's sad that she was feeling that way, but she's noticing it, she's aware of it, and that's a beautiful thing. That's really a beautiful thing. And she's saying it out loud, she's publicizing it, and maybe she's actually, you know, had a lot of help with this now, you know. Oh, it's just, wow. But yeah, that's pretty much all the lyrics. Oh, amazing. And as a last song, that's just like, it's like that vulnerability of like, even though all this, oh, just, you know, sexiness, darkness, and all these like whatever feelings, they all contribute to this end song of like, I want to actually not feel like this anymore. I'm ready to move on, but I'm stuck here. And I don't know, I think she has a girlfriend now. So like, she's probably had to do a lot of work, you know, on herself, and maybe in the relationship just to get through those layers. And she's probably really happy now and so on. But it's just, I don't know. Oh, just a really well done album. Like, all the fun parts, but all the beautiful parts, the interesting parts. It's just absolute fire. I don't even know what. I think Crumbs is my favourite just because it's so out there and big and wild and fun and so many levels to it as a song. But then I also loved Performer for that deepness, that real relatable deepness. Cry Hard Enough was gorgeous too. Then I loved also like Misery Loves Company was cool too. You know, I love like those darker, like rich sounds, and it gave me so much visuals too, which are just so cool. But yeah, please let me know what your favourite was. And oh, I don't know, this is just so fun. I'm so excited to edit it and get it out for all of you. Oh my God. And thank you so much, Kat, again, for requesting this, because it means I actually got round to it, like, you know, quicker than I usually would. And imagine if I just didn't hear this album, like that would be the saddest thing ever. I think it could be my album of 2023 so far. Obviously, we've got some good contenders like Kalela and Caroline Polachek and so on. I think those are the only two from this year I've heard. And obviously we've got Lana Del Rey's coming up. I mean, that's just gonna be fire. I know it already, but oh my God. So exciting. Obviously, I love Caroline Polachek's album. I love Kalela's album, but this one, oh, there's something about it. It's short, like it's not too long, but then it has everything you need in it. You know, it has like the highs, the lows. It has the fun, the sadness, and it's also just exciting that it's Rebecca Black. For God's sake, like she is absolutely astonishing. Oh my gosh. And her vocals, they really surprised me too. Like, she can sing, and the tone of her voice is just everything I love as well, like that kind of sweet, but then like she can be strong and powerful too. Oh my god, I could go on. I'm gonna stop. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this reaction. Do consider liking, commenting, subscribing, becoming a patron, because it really helps me out so much. But yes, I shall see you next time. Bye.